Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to The In Factor, blessing the airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
SBTV Nation, it's your boy The Dream in the house, and y'all hear it. We got like some bank robbing music going on in the back. Because as soon as I hear that beat, I'm thinking about getting that money and getting away. What's going on, Hat?
Oh, I'm good, Dream. You know what? It was a very interesting day yesterday, but Cinderella's slipper fell off yesterday. Nothing really happened that was a big upset.
Which was right up my alley, as I don't like underdogs. We will get back into that again today. I know several double-digit dogs covered, as I'm going to hear all about you and everybody else on Twitter who absolutely loves underdogs. I don't know why. Do you guys, here's my thing. Do you correlate yourself with an underdog? Because that's my problem with a dog. I consider myself a favorite and the one that should win. So I don't really relate to an underdog.
It's not about the money line of the underdog, Dream. It's about the fact that no one cares to cover. At the end of the game, when you got 12 seconds left, and you've got a team that's up 20 some odd points and is given 26 like Villanova yesterday. Dream, they're just walking around the court dribbling the ball. They don't care about scoring another bucket. What's the point?
So that being said, I offer you Troy today.
I will proudly take Troy today all day long. You already know that. Hey, you know what?
Rick Lopez. When does Rick Lopez sleep, son?
I know he was up. He was involved in the heckling that I was doing to you last night on Twitter.
Slick
man.
Rick Lopez, my boy, it worked. He got to get maybe 2-3 hours of sleep a day. That's it. Maybe once a week.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Good morning to everybody.
He's like the Russell Westbrook of the SBTV Nation.
Right on. So, Dream, we got a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about. First thing I want to know, did Jay Wright dip by SBTV Central and have a talk with you?
Jay Wright. In the second half, he did.
Because I was just saying, Jay Wright visited Bucknell after your loss and had a talk with them to make them feel good. So I'm wondering if after the Minnesota game.
Oh, my God. You really had to go there with Minnesota, huh? Kid. Oh, my God. I don't know. I cannot figure out what the hell happened to them. You know, Middle Tennessee, probably the ugliest team in the tournament, by the way.
No. There's uglier teams.
Murder. I mean, they just had their way with Minnesota. Minnesota looked like a deer in headlights, like they didn't want to beat her. I can't even believe what I saw last night.
You know, some of these games, and I talked a little bit about it yesterday, the big stage, some of these teams, I feel like they get a little bit starstruck when they get into this tournament. I don't know if it's overcompensation or they're nervous or what it is. I mean, I'm sure it's probably a little bit of all of that, but that looked like the case yesterday in this particular game, even though we saw glimpses of this with Minnesota like 3 weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah. And they were doing so well. It's just the inconsistencies, man, you know?
Sure.
It just gets the better of you at times. But, hey, you know what? Minnesota's got a seat right next to Vanderbilt, Dream.
Well, now here's the thing, because I was heartbroken with Vanderbilt, obviously, but the Vanderbilt loss was a horse of a different color, as it was very Chris Webber-ish at the end of the game.
All right, well,
I think he said he heard you in the background sitting next to your boy Trump yell foul.
My boy Trump. Well, you know what? Making America great again, Dream. But just I mean, because that's going to be the first game, because obviously that's the biggest story of the day. When I was watching that unfold, you heard the announcers saying how sick they were for the kid, and the kid didn't know the score and whatnot. Then my son told me a different story. My son told me that I guess whoever was keeping the score in the arena didn't change the score, so they thought they were down. And so, because they didn't put the last bucket up to change the score. So
it's late. A lot of times that last bucket does get added a little bit late. I agree with that. Probably, I'm not going to disagree that happened.
Yeah, so that's what he was saying. So he said that the coach told him to foul. But then I heard another thing. I heard the coach was telling him to guard him, and he misunderstood that as fouling. So I don't know. I didn't see any. I didn't see any after game interviews. I didn't see any of that.
Okay, I saw the coach pointing in the direction of the player because he was getting beat. So I did see the coach point in the direction of the player, but I didn't hear any words said. Now, your son talking about the adding of the score at the end, I watch that a lot sometimes because obviously you're looking at the scores because you need to know the scores. Matter of fact, I was all over it in the Notre Dame game when I was screaming. And a lot of times that score does come late. It doesn't come on time. And I get that. If he said that as an excuse, I somewhat get that. But now, here's my deal. I didn't really have a huge problem with the foul. Reason being is they were up 1. So you give him an opportunity to go make foul shots. Now, of course, it was one of the better foul shooting players.
Right.
But you give him the opportunity to make the foul shots. Even the best foul shooters can miss them. How many times we've seen Ray Allen? It's good a foul shooter he is. I've seen Ray Allen miss foul shots.
Sure.
So now he's got to make 2. Maybe he makes 1 of the 2 and doesn't make both. Okay. But he makes 2. But now your team has the ball with the final say-so in the game as opposed to they would have had the final say-so as far as the time clock is concerned. So I didn't have a problem with that. Now, what I did have a problem with, a huge problem with, was, 1, the last shot selection, which was like right across the half-court line.
I couldn't understand that one.
And 2, why if you're going to take a 3 like that, and I'm going to repeat what Kenny Smith said, because I still think Kenny Smith is one of the most outstanding analysts as far as pro basketball and basketball in general is concerned. In this situation, you don't milk the clock if you want to take a 3. If you're going to take a 3, you shoot it quick. So 1, you're giving yourself an opportunity for an offensive rebound. 2, you give yourself the opportunity for them to rebound it and you can foul them. So you're going to give yourself multiple chances at an end game as opposed to what they did, running out the clock and then taking a deep 3. Otherwise, if you're going to run out of the clock, you drive the ball to the basket. When you drive the ball to the basket, you're looking for maybe a foul, you're looking for contact, or you're looking for the easy lay-in. So at any rate, the end game of this was played completely wrong.
Thank you, man. And you know what? Thank you to Rick Lopez for the glasses. Dream, that's one of my favorites.
Okay.
I know that's not your size, but you know that's one of my favorites right there.
I got to get a look. I'm trying to get knee deep into this tourney right
now.
So
everybody's trying to bring Freaky Friday back. That's their big thing out there. But
no, the glasses is good. That's not my size.
That's
really
strong. I love that. But anyway, Interact Sports Solutions, good morning to you. And good morning to everybody that's on Twitter right now. SBTV Nation, stand up. Dream, I agree with you. When he ever took that, stupid 3-point shot, I'm like, what was that?
That's playground. That's the playground.
That's
right there.
You know what that is? That's watching too much Steph Curry.
Too much Steph. That's the playground. That's playing NBA Live, that NBA 2K game on Xbox. Because I was doing that all day with my kids yesterday. I would get Steph Curry and run out from a layup and go all the way back to their half court and shoot up for the free.
I know.
And he would drain it. But unlike video games, it wasn't happening. That's a bad way to go down. That game did cost me a little bit. Also, Notre Dame. I got to talk about Notre Dame.
Well, let's have a conversation about Notre Dame, who battled the white boys yesterday. Dream.
Oh, son, and it was. If you got an opportunity to watch this game, there was nothing exciting about it. It was like a baseball game to me.
Princeton, Dream, they played tough. I mean, they had an opportunity to win the game, man.
I got to tell you something. Farrell single-handedly destroyed that game. I know he got 18 points, and people who watch the game, listen, he made every time Notre Dame was about to take the lead into the 10 area and get into double digits, he would do something dumb, dribble off his foot, bad pass. I mean, you name it. His kid, I don't know what was going on in his mind or in his head yesterday. I don't know. Maybe the family told him, hey, listen, we're going to take Princeton. I don't know what happened. I'm joking. But bad game by him. Notre Dame also, the uniforms basically were dreadful. They need to scrap those uniforms and put on something a little bit nicer looking. Notre Dame was terrible yesterday. I didn't like the way they looked at all. And if they don't change that particular style, they will not be going far in this tournament.
I right there with you on that one, Dream.
Oh, terrible.
That was kind of brutal, man. But you know what? Hey, they're victorious and they move on, and they'll probably clean that up. I would imagine that they'll clean it up. But guys, we have our bracket contest right now, and the person there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that are in first place. Got Kevin Carlisle, Bud Chetta, RSW1916, Big Mike LV, and Deeks Picks are all in the lead, tied, Dream.
And Bud Cheddar didn't need to make his name because he's already letting himself be known on Twitter. And I told him, don't be that guy, because next week when you at the bottom, I'm gonna be like, Bud, where you at?
Right on. I'm not doing so well in this one. Actually, you and I are tied.
Are we?
Yeah, we're not too looking too good, man. Probably because of Minnesota. I had Minnesota winning 2 games here. So that's the one that got me. I don't think I had them winning 2 games. I forget what I haven't even looked at why are you guys looking at your bracket? I'm looking at gambling, not brackets right now. You guys, listen, the fantasy stuff is second. Trying to make some money.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that money dead right. And yesterday was an agitating day as I let you pull me off of the University of Virginia.
Well, I probably saved you some years on your life. Considering the fact that Virginia, dude, I called that as a potential upset yesterday. I thought that this team could have, done some stuff offensively and kind of kept Virginia out of their A game. But Virginia fell down early, and I thought that was going to be a problem for them. Dream, they found some offense.
They did find some offense, but they found offense the way they always find it. By playing great defense. Yeah. This team still is a really good defensive team. Yesterday, I think if you watched yesterday's games, the biggest thing that I saw out of defenses that coaches should be talking about today would be box the hell out. Because so many second shot attempts for offensive rebounds I saw yesterday blew up in so many teams' faces.
Yeah, I know.
And in particular at your Virginia Tech.
Oh, that was one of the most frustrating games to me of the day, if not the most frustrating, because I didn't think Va-Tech played all that bad. I really didn't. The problem was every single time they got it within 1, Wisconsin would hit a 3. And you know what, Dream? I know that they weren't all that good, and they are an 8 seed, but if Wisconsin shots are falling like that makes them a very dangerous team. Very dangerous.
I disagree. I think they're dangerous against Virginia Tech. Well, anybody's okay. Hold on. Any team's shots that are falling, they're a dangerous team. So we can't take that away. But I still think that some of that had to do with Virginia Tech. Virginia's inability to box out. They got a lot of second shot attempts, and then a couple of luck plays at the end of the game, like that one shot that went right in my boy's hands when he missed. The time clock was running out. Did you remember that play? Time clock's running out. He shoots up a prayer, closes his eyes. The ball dings off the rim and lands right into
yeah. It's just so frustrating for me, man. I just couldn't even believe what's happening. I was like, I was screaming at that one. Dream, Mount St. Mary's played a little tough in the first half, but then Villanova stopped having it.
Mount St. Mary's did play a little tough in the first half. Villanova got themselves together. with that poise and that experience, and then got the second half dead right. Villanova is a force to be reckoned with. A lot of people, I know I've heard about their depth, and they're not that good, dude. I'm telling you, I had a lot of trouble doing my brackets and not letting the Villanova repeat. I really did.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. Definitely a good team, and they know how to play defense as well. So, you know what? I mean, it just seems like they have the whole package. The
right.
Coaching, the offense, the defense, I mean, they've got it all. So we'll see how it goes, but I think they're going to run into some trouble in some of the later rounds, but we'll talk about it. Dream, number one Gonzaga was a very similar game to the Villanova story, where first half was tight, and then the second half they just went bananas. Both of these teams, by the way, the number one seeds, did not cover their spreads, guys. So double-digit underdogs.
But the spreads were ridiculous.
That's perfect.
They both won by 20.
Which is awesome.
No, it's just awesome. But my thing is, now, if you want a double-digit spread I would definitely say 26 is the way to go. If you're gonna give me a double-digit spread, I'll roll with the 26. In these cases, the 26 was very, very heavy because, as Hat said, if you're up 24, at the end of the game, you don't care.
Well, you know what was crazy in the Villanova game? I had 26 points. It was actually 27. I went to go put it in, and it changed to 26. I love when that happens. Not. But anyway, what was happening is they were down. Mount St. Mary's was down 20, and they were fouling with a minute and a half left. I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
I mean, like, intentionally fouling. I'm like, you're not coming back from 20 points down. Stop.
In two of the games, though, I did see at like the 10-second mark, the other team concede in a situation where you could have got some more points. And I didn't pay attention to whether that was to cover the spread or not. But I want to say in the Purdue game, there was an opportunity. There was still some time left, and they just opted not to foul anymore, Vermont did, and let Purdue just win by 10, where if Purdue scores one more bucket, they cover their spread instead of push.
Exactly. So moving on here, Dream, Arizona. If you got 18 points with the spread, you pushed. They were laying a smackdown and let North Dakota, hang with them in the second half.
I saw Arizona at 17. I didn't see him at 18, but you're right. If you got 18, you did push. I thought Arizona covered your spread. I also saw 17 on the board. And Arizona, they look good. They look good. Yeah. I still have a little bit of issue with them, with their floor running and the athleticism of their big men, but they look good. Man, Trier is going to be, he's an outstanding. His game play looks really poised for this NCAA tournament. I think he's going to be immense talent in the tournament. I also need to go back to Purdue for a minute and talk about Caleb Swanigan. Dude, did you see my boy last night?
I did. I didn't watch a lot of Purdue yesterday. Listen,
this Purdue team, I know they're rough. They got to, Purdue reminds me of last year's Baylor a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, if they could get this together, Isaac Hosdo, my God, dude, he drives me crazy. He's as big as Shaq out there, the biggest thing moving and the slowest thing moving and the clumsiest thing moving.
Got a big clumsy guy, huh?
Oh my God, dude! It's like you see him out there. He's towering over everybody, and just the feet just don't want to do what the brain's trying to do.
How about Huggy Hugs skating by Bucknell yesterday, Dream?
Big Hug skate by Bucknell. I don't know if he dipped out for a Pizza Hut break at the half because Hugs is huge. Along with, God, did you see Charles Barkley?
Yeah, Barkley's getting fat too.
Barkley's put on like another team with already heavy. Has already put on a little bit more. My God, dude, stop eating.
It's all that Taco Bell player.
How do you let
he's doing the $5 box and all that.
I can't. I don't know. I mean, for me, a professional athlete, a media person, I don't really feel like there's any excuse because, like Barkley, I'm sure Barkley can, work in a workout with his schedule. It's not like you got a schedule like me and you where, like, I got to get this money. I can't work out today.
Yeah, right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. I hear you. My man, Deeks Picks is telling me the biggest surprise of the tourney yesterday that there were no surprises.
Deeks Picks, the biggest surprise of the tourney is that you didn't call in to talk to us before the tourney.
Yes. Got to call in and talk to us.
That's the surprised.
One of the most dominant performances yesterday, and the scoreboard doesn't reflect it. Dream, I was impressed with Florida State.
Okay.
I was impressed with.
I don't know what I've been talking about.
No, I was impressed with Florida State. I think they played very well. I think that game was moving 100 miles an hour.
The problem with Florida State is if you shut down their transition game and put them in half-court set situations, there becomes a struggle. As long as they're able to get out and run, the rhythm of it flows well for their offense, and they can shine and they can flourish. Once you shut them down, you put them in half court, which teams like Virginia, teams like Villanova,
Gonzaga,
can do to them. That's their Achilles heel, is shutting them down and getting them out of their transition. But when they want to run, Florida State and North Carolina can run with any of these teams in this tournament.
All right. I didn't really I wasn't too intrigued by the Iowa State-Nevada game. I didn't really watch much of that.
Well, it got out of hand early.
Yeah, it did. They were up 13 points at the half. Florida gets by East Tennessee State but they end up winning by 15 points.
Yeah, and Florida actually covered their spread. I was on Florida yesterday as well. It was one of my I was on them as far as liking them. And then I ended up doing a tease thanks to Direct Sports Solution. Direct Sports Solution sent me a tease. And I kind of, it was something that I talked about and then kind of piggybacked off of it once Notre Dame punched me in the face. Hey, I got to tell you this story though. So I have to run out my kid gets medication. He got for some reason they didn't have it in town. So I had to go to Milford yesterday. Wow. And gang, for those of you that don't know, it's about 25 minutes away to grab his medication for my son. So they call me at what time at? 11:30.
Wonderful.
So I'm like, all right. If his medication's coming at 11:30, I need to leave now because otherwise I'm not going to want to leave. I'm not going to want to move. Go down, grab the medication, running right on time on my way back. Get on 68, which, guys, this is like one of those one-lane roads like in the middle of the desert, but you can't pass. Get behind a funeral.
Oh, right before the first game.
I was ready to just tell the funeral people to make a couple more graves. So I'm about to get out and do something stupid. It was crazy. And it was one of the longest ones ever. So I ended up missing like a lot of the first, like all that University of Virginia stomach ache. I missed a lot of that.
Well, you missed that and Princeton, Notre Dame.
The beginning of it, yeah. The very beginning.
Got it. Moving on to the rest of it here, Dream. VCU, St. Mary's. St. Mary's was victorious, actually pounded VCU in this game. The score is not reflective of what really went down in that game. Let's see here, the rest of it. We talked about Vandy and Northwestern. Dream, when you go versus me, it's not going to work out for you. Vanderbilt,
Okay.
Northwestern was the better team, Dream.
Yeah, okay. Want to talk about my boy, I want to send big hugs out and well wishes to my man Irvin as his buddy Melo Trimble. I don't know if it's his cousin or what. But Melo Trimble is going down. I think we're done seeing him in the NCAA tournament and in the NCAA period, as Hat attested to yesterday. Next time you see him, will be at a pickup game. Maybe Rucker Park.
Fast Eddie, yes. Great job on the photos today, my man. Wow. Stellar stuff. Yeah, because I don't see him in the NBA, Dream. But I could be wrong. I mean, I can't stand corrected. I mean, Frank Kaminsky has ended up being a decent NBA player after all.
Frank Kaminsky's a 7 foot tall guy. By the way, Melo Trimble is not.
Yeah, I know. But
if you're 7 foot and you could chew a little bit of bubble gum,
yeah,
and walk at the same time, you're most likely going to catch a little bit of NBA action.
Right on. All right, so out of all the games we just talked about, okay, because we're going to have to zip through the other ones, that are starting today. But what was the most dominant performance of the day, that, in your opinion, on all the games? You watched a lot of basketball.
I watched a ton of basketball yesterday. Most dominant performance. That's a good question. I didn't see a dominant. I saw good performances out of the teams that won, most of them. A dominant, I don't know if I would qualify anybody as dominant yesterday.
Okay, but good polished basketball. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Arizona.
That's who Cash Action Bet says Arizona. But my problem with Arizona was, okay, North Dakota. Come on, North Dakota. Come on.
I know.
And they should have blew them out like right at the beginning. I mean, they did. They got into blowing them out, but they let them come back a little bit. So that's why I say,
I don't know. I mean, it's an 18-point win, but two of the most impressive victories I saw yesterday were Xavier. I thought Xavier played very well. There was times where they fell behind a little bit, but I thought they played very well and basically tore Maryland up. And I got to go with, believe it or not, I got to go with Florida State over Florida Gulf Coast. You know, Florida Gulf Coast is one of my squads.
I know. I like Florida State.
Yeah, they looked good. They looked good.
I didn't think it was dominant, but I liked it. I guess dominant, you got to go St. Mary's.
Yeah, probably. So, all right, Dream. So we're going to move on here, and let's have a conversation about what's going on today. Because we got a lot of games, and I'm interested to hear if you got anything up your sleeve as far as making money is concerned. So,
first of all, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody out there. These games start at 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. What a great day to cut out of work, kid. Go.
You know what I love?
What's that?
Kids got half day today.
Your kids have half day? Oh, man. Wow.
Makes me want to go and just grab my attorney and my wife's attorney and beat somebody down and leave anymore.
Got it. Number 10, Oklahoma State versus number 7, Michigan. Michigan minus 2.5, under over of 154. Dream, I am not a fan of Oklahoma State.
Me neither.
No, they don't do it for me.
But I'm not a fan of Michigan either.
Even though Michigan did what they did in their conference tournament?
Yeah, I know what they did in their conference tournament, but I don't love them. I don't love this game. This game is a mess. I can't figure out where to go with this game. It reminds me of the Maryland Virginia Tech game, to be honest with you.
Well, you know what here? I mean, you're going to see a very, very potent offense versus a great defense. Michigan only gives up 65.54 points per game, where Oklahoma State is scoring 85.5, Dream. Should be a good game. Should be definitely a great chess match here, but I'm not getting involved in it. I don't like either side. I think Michigan advances, but I'm not going to take it. Number 14, New Mexico State at number 3, Baylor. Baylor minus 12.5, double-digit favorite with an under-over of 134.5. Is this the upset of the day? No. Okay. Baylor's going to get the job done?
Baylor gets the job done and wins, and especially because of what happened last season. They all remember what happened last year to them. I got Baylor winning this game. I would not give it 12. This is great for one of those 8 to 10-point teasers, which is probably, I had luck with it yesterday. Direct Sports Solutions helped write that out for me. It helped me with that. I've been using them all season long. Why I didn't want to get involved with it yesterday, don't ask me. But, yeah, I would get involved with the 8 to 12 to 10-point teaser today with this game.
I would not be surprised if this game went over the 134.5. New Mexico State scores 79 points a game. I understand that both of these teams defensively are very good, but I think that total is awfully low, 134.5.
Yeah, and the thing about defense, we talked about this before with basketball. If a team is making your three-point shots or a guy gets really hot and on fire, no matter how good your defense is, you'd be right there in his face. He's draining shots.
I might take a shot with the over in that game.
It's a good idea. I might roll with you with that. I like that call.
That's a very low total for. I understand the defenses here, but Baylor's going to try to run here, Dream. I like that, and you know what too? I could see this at the end. Being a 7-point game and foul shots.
Sure.
Kind of hacking away at each other. So next one on the ticket is 1:30. You got number 9 Seton Hall versus number 8 Arkansas. Arkansas minus 1. Under over of 147. Tough game, kid. Wow.
I know you like Seton Hall in this game. I think you do.
I don't know. I'm
okay,
not.
I like Arkansas. Based on what I saw in Arkansas's tournament, I like the way Arkansas looked, man. I was really impressed with them. Their ability to run the floor, their ability to, their half-court sets, high ball screens were solid. Perimeter shooting was decent. I like what I saw out of Arkansas. I think Arkansas is a better team here, to be honest with you.
I might be on the same page as you with that. I have Arkansas in a bunch of brackets emerging over this over this round and going to the next round. But you might be onto something there. Arkansas is -1. There's a reason why they're favored. 2 o'clock, you got number 14, Iona versus number 3, Oregon. Oregon -15 points with an under-over of 152.5. Dream, there's got to be an upset here lurking.
Nope, it's not going to be Oregon.
And it's not this one.
It's not going to be Oregon. It's not going to be Oregon.
Watch out for Iona.
No.
You're probably gonna this is gonna you're gonna see a lot of points in this game. 152.5 is the total, and that is definitely apropos as both teams score roughly about 80 points a game.
I like Oregon in this spot.
You like Oregon to cover?
I like Oregon a lot.
You like Oregon to cover?
I think Oregon covers because Oregon likes to blow you out because
they
start. You know what happens? They start getting them. They get in transition and they start running the floor, and it just becomes I don't know, like a whirlwind.
Troublesome.
And I don't think Iona's ready. I don't think Iona's ready for this offense.
This is the one that I'd love to see an upset on. Number 15, Jacksonville State, a 20-14 team on the year, facing number 2, Louisville. Louisville 24-8 on the year, -19.5 points, under over of 134.5.
Not happening. You can do your double-digit dog. You're going to take a Jacksonville State -19.5?
I'm taking all the double-digit dogs.
All right.
Taking them all. Jacksonville State is a very nasty team that likes to grind out wins. Dream, they only score 69 points a game and they give up 67. This one should be reminiscent of the Virginia game, where it's just kind of like in the beginning, Virginia offensively, how they were in the first half. Yep. This one might be ugly. This one might be very similar in the first half. I wouldn't be surprised if this one this is like a 65-53 final or something like that. Don't be surprised if this one also goes under. But I like the under in the I like the over in the Baylor game, and I like the under in this one.
Okay.
All right. So I'm looking at the next one here. Unless you got anything, Louisville's -19.5 points, kid.
I think Louisville actually beats Jacksonville State. The 19.5 is worrisome to me because I don't like that many points. But I don't see how Jacksonville State scores against Louisville's defense.
Yeah, I know. Louisville's defense is really good.
They got a good defense.
They sure do, man. So, well, you know what, Dream? That's a really great call, having Louisville to win the game. And you know what? Why don't you parlay that with the UConn women to win the national title?
You know what? I was talking to somebody last night. UConn women, they should just let them play in the men's tournament.
Yeah, right. I agree with you on that.
Because it's just not competitive in the women's tournament. Just let the UConn women play. Dude, they'd probably win the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, right. They probably would. I put the UConn women versus Press Virginia. That'd be a good matchup.
I agree with you. maybe against Virginia too.
Yeah, right on. All right, Dream. Great matchup here, man. Number 6 SMU versus number 11 USC. 2 totally different styles of gameplay here. SMU, one of the best defenses in the land, giving 6.5 to USC. Now, which USC team are you going to get? How are they going to react to the big emotional win the other night? Are they going to carry that momentum into this game? Or did they blow their wad and are about to get smoked by SMU?
I got SMU winning this game.
Okay.
I think SMU wins. I think they win. I think they cover their spread. I think USC's, a little bit tired. Don't get me wrong. USC's got some size. I'll give them that. But I was so impressed the way SMU handled Cincinnati. I don't see USC winning this game. I just don't.
I got SMU going very far. I really do. I really like this team, Dream. I've been plugging them since I saw them at 120-1. Unfortunately for me, I did not grab those odds. I just talked about it. Kid, SMU only gives up 59 points a game, Dream. That's it. It's going to be a tough game, guys. I think SMU wins. I just don't. Dream, I'm having a hard time putting my money on stuff today.
I am too. I said that this morning when we got on the show. I said that this morning.
All right, here we go. Here's your squad.
There you go.
Number 1, North Carolina versus number 16, Texas Southern. Texas Southern is 23-11 on the year. UNC minus 26.5 under over of 154. Does the 16 knock off the 1?
No, get yourself some of the 26.5 though, Hat.
They'll probably win by 40 though. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, obviously, because that's what I'm doing these days. But yeah, this is one where the double digit. I think North Carolina rolls. Now here's the thing, and I mean, I know it's kind of crazy to talk about, and it's not really that funny. But Dream, you really feel confident with North Carolina with your boy's health?
Say what?
You know, Roy could pass out on the court and be out of this tournament. Then they have no coach. I'm just saying. I mean, listen.
That might be an additive for them.
Be careful with North Carolina. I don't like North Carolina. Not a big fan of them.
Meanwhile, you're taking Bill
Dream,
South.
I just saw North Carolina get murdered in Virginia, and then I saw them lose to the Dukies in the conference championship. I don't know what you see in this team.
Kid, they run the floor better than Florida State.
Okay.
All right? That team, you'll see what I see in them as they murder your double-digit stuff today.
All right, here we go. So you and I are both on number 1 seeds here. Number 11, Rhode Island versus number 6, Creighton. Dream, the 11 seed is given a point. They're given 1 to Creighton.
How is that?
Oh, man. Rhode Island, I guess, is they're thinking they're going to shut down Marcus Foster here. I don't know, man. This is a very tough matchup here, to be honest with you. It's tough to put a lean on this one. You know, when you see that looks so wrong, that line. But look what happened with Middle Tennessee yesterday.
True.
You know?
What's a lean, son?
What's a lean? What's a lean? Son, what are you?
It's hard to put a lead on it.
Oh, man, that's a really tough game. I'm just going to pull up the matchup here, guys, just to...
SBTV Nation, today, listen, it's a fallback $50 type day for your boy because, like Hat said, I don't really love any of these matchups. Some of them are really tough and tight. I'm not in love with a lot of these matchups. This Creighton Rhode Island game is a hard one to call. I don't know a whole hell of a lot about URI.
No.
I've seen a little bit of Creighton, not a lot to make a call here. Funny, I see more of yesterday's teams play than today's teams.
I know in Rhode Island they party a lot. I can tell you that much. Rhode Island gives up less than 65 points a game defensively. Overall, 24-9.
Hold on, wait, time out. You said I know in Rhode Island they party.
They party a whole hell of a lot. That's one of the biggest parties. That's one of the biggest party schools in the nation, Dream. I don't know if you knew that.
As far as I'm concerned, they all party a lot. Because if it's one party being held and they're at it, you know what I mean? It's not like you just, even if you're at a school and there's multiple parties, you can only be at one time, Matt. Yeah,
I know. Well, you know what? It's let's just see here. Top 100 party schools. These are the teams not to bet, guys. To be honest with you. I don't know, Dream. You know what? I think that this is a real tough game for me. I can't call it. I just can't. Let's move on. Let's try to find better spots here. UC Davis versus Kansas. Number 1, Kansas given 24 points. Kansas should beat the hell out of UC Davis.
That could be the upset.
Stop. I'm telling, dude. I got the upset. I got the upset moving down the page.
Frank Mason scratching his head.
Mason's been great this year, kid. I know. He's been really good, averaging 20.8 points a game. They're giving 24, under over of 145. I would expect Kansas to roll here. watch the 2 number 1 seeds cover their spreads today. There's a very good chance of that happening, to be honest with you. But I am going to take the double-digit dogs. Couple other games here, Dream. Wichita State versus number 7 Dayton. Wichita State -6. The 10 is given the 7, 6 points. Everybody's high on Wichita State, the Shockers.
I'm not.
They've been. It's like the last 5 years they have been.
I know.
I don't see it, guys. You know what, Dream? You always say that the Shockers about to get shocked.
Yeah.
So true.
I saw Dayton and was kind of impressed with what I saw at Dayton. I only saw one game, though. I mean, I didn't see a lot. Saw one game. They looked really good. But I'm not crazy about Wichita State. I know what they're capable of. Rick Lopez saw on all over them, was giving them to me last night. I said, yeah, you think? But I'm not.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm looking at it. I mean, 144 is the total in this game. Dayton's led by Charles Cook, averaging 16 points a game. Dude, I am
It's that 7:30 time slot. I think that's the worst time slot out of all the games.
7:10.
Because it's like you're trying to get dinner. You can't watch, but you can. And it's that, I don't know. I don't like that time slot.
All right, well, I'm going to be zeroed in on this one. I want to see Duke lose today so bad. I can't stand Duke. I can't stand Grayson Allen. Coach K, I give him a lot of credit, obviously. I mean,
you should love Grayson Allen. He's Trumpish. Make it Duke great.
Make it Duke great.
White boy tripping people out there. That's Trump. That's right up his alley.
Why are you attacking my boy? Why are you attacking him?
Trump didn't fill out a bracket and take Duke.
Trump took Princeton to go all the way. All right, Troy versus Duke. Upset special of the day. Duke goes down in flames to Troy, Dream. That's the 2 that beats the 15 this year. Right there, guys. Bang. No?
Not happening.
No? Why not?
Because they're not being Duke, dude. Duke did some maturing throughout the season. They went through their low. They got to their high, started peaking at the right time of the year. They found some fluidity in their offense. And I'm telling you, when Duke hits these shots, man, you could listen. I don't like Grayson Allen either, but I know why Grayson Allen's out there on the floor. He got a little bit of ball in him. That boy got some ball game in him. Trust me, he got some ball game in him. The kind of guy I'd like to have as a player on my team and not play against him because he can put the dagger in you.
Yeah, got it. Well, you know what? I think you're going to see a lot of running in this game. I think you're going to see a lot of points. Troy averages 78 points a game. Duke, 80, just over 80. You know what, Dream? This game's going to be tighter than you think. Watch. I'm telling you, watch.
Move forward.
I am on Troy plus the 19.5 points all day. Let's go to a couple more games here. Kansas State versus Cincinnati. Number 11 versus number 6. Cincinnati -4, your squad. Under over, Dream, 131. That is an awfully low total. That's the lowest total.
Cincinnati
Actually, the next game is even lower, but what do you got?
Cincinnati plays fantastic defense. I mean, we talked about that before. Kansas State has one of the uglier offenses in the league as well. This is the dynamics and ingredients to be a very nasty game. I like Cincinnati to win the game. I don't like Kansas State at all. I think Cincinnati's definitely the better team here. I think Cincinnati wins. Cincinnati did disappoint me, though. However, in their tournament, I did not like the way they ended with SMU, and I don't think that Kansas State is capable of replicating that, but I don't like the total. I think, are you leaning towards the over?
What is it? What do we got here? We got
131.
That's an awfully low total. I'm pulling off this game. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like the matchup. Kansas State has been pesky as hell, man. I don't know if you've been paying attention to them, but I mean, tough matchup. Well, how about this one, Dream? 920. Under over 126. Yep.
I thought I asked you to get rid of Return of the Mac.
That's my jam right now. My jam, kid. Return of the Mac, baby. How about this one? Total is 126. Number 9, Michigan State versus number 8, Miami. Miami -2.5. They're favored versus Mr. Izzo. Coach Izzo.
Goes over.
You think it goes over 126?
I do.
What's this, totals day today? Let's
Could be totals day today because I don't like sides.
That's a very interesting number, Dream. You know, Michigan State puts up 71 points a game. Miami's putting up just right around 70. I know defensively they're both pretty good, but I don't know. That total seems awfully low. That's like
I think it goes over.
That's like a 65, 62. That's what they're looking at. You think it goes over?
I do.
I might be there with you on that one. We'll talk about it later on. We got some time. That's 9:20 tonight. We got a couple of other games here, guys. We got number 15 Northern Kentucky versus Kentucky. Kentucky minus 20 with an under over of 153. Dream, do you think Kentucky rolls?
I think Kentucky rolls. And after watching yesterday's games, I really appreciate Kentucky a little bit more. And the reason I do is because Calipari doesn't like his guys to shoot threes. Let me rephrase that. He likes them to shoot threes, but likes them to shoot them if you're wide open and a clean look. Right. Outside of that, he preaches drive the ball to the hoop. Dude, the three-point line destroys some of these games. I watched these kids yesterday just hoisting up these threes in some of the spots when there's layup opportunities, not pushing the ball to the hole. You're in a huge drought. You haven't scored in, 2 minutes, which is a drought in basketball. Dude, you push the ball into the post. Maybe you get contact. Maybe you get a foul. So many things can happen as opposed to standing out and hoisting up a three and miss it. Long rebound. Now you're creating transition opportunities for the other teams. One thing that I know that Calipari does, he does not like his team shooting threes. He will call a timeout in the middle of that. I've seen some of these teams go up and down the court and take like 4 to 5 3-point attempts. He calls a quick timeout and tells everybody to just knock it off.
Yeah, right. I love when he does that.
I love when he does that.
You would tell right away when he's going to do it, too.
Yep.
So I'm with you on that. So looking at this game here, Dream, I wouldn't be surprised if Kentucky covered that 20 points.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kentucky covers too. And I had a hard time not taking Kentucky to win the NCAA tournament as well.
Wow.
I just don't think they have enough, and I hate their matchup with UCLA because UCLA, even though UCLA, and I'm not going to mention his name because I'm sick of talking about him. I'm sick of hearing him in the news, but he's creating a huge problem for his kids because they got to, everybody knows certain people already when you play sports. You're already cognizant of the other athletes and who they are. He puts a bigger target on his kids and just that much more pressure in an already pressurized situation for him. I know it's all about the marketing. I get what he's doing, but I don't know why you do that with your kids right now, especially in this tournament when your heads need to be just centered on basketball. If somebody say that he's diverting attention to himself, he may be diverting attention to himself, but trust me, out there on the court, the other kids are telling him, your dad's got a big mouth, we're sick of hearing about him, you're not that good.
All right, sounds good, Dream. 2 more games. I'm just going to rattle them both off, and let me know if you have any opinions here. Number 10, Marquette versus South Carolina. South Carolina minus 1.5 with an under-over of 143.
You like South Carolina?
You like South Carolina? I like Marquette in that matchup. And number 14, Kent State versus number 3, UCLA. UCLA minus 18 points. That might be the beatdown of the day.
And that's what I was just talking about, obviously, with Ball. I just don't know why his dad would do that.
It's stupid, right?
I think it's dumb.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for the collegiate basketball guys. I like Troy plus the points. And I like... Where's that other game that we were talking about? I like the over in the New Mexico State and Baylor game. Over 134.5. I'm going to take that one.
I'm going to join you in the New Mexico State Baylor game. I am going to join you in that. Okay. The only thing I will say about overs in college basketball, especially in this tournament, sometimes they start out a little bit tight and sloppy, and shots aren't going in. That's the only thing you have to worry about in the tournament. But I happen to think that Baylor can get it going as far as offense is concerned and maybe get a little transition, get New Mexico State into a little track meet, especially in the second half, and we'll get some points to flourish. So I think I'm going to go there with you.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So that's going to do it for us, Dream, unless you got hockey?
Hold on. We got hockey. We got basketball. We got regular basketball.
Yeah, I know. We should have grabbed my boy last night.
Well, the Nuggles handled that over. You had it at like the halfway mark of the fourth quarter.
Yeah. The Nuggles. You love them.
You turned me on to it, and now you're laughing at it. I love it.
Absolutely.
Plug yourself. That's a great call.
Yeah, no doubt. Did the Sharks win last night?
Sharks lost. They let me down.
Oh, that was your saving grace, too.
That was your saving grace. I didn't need him to save me, though, because I had the teaser work, but the Sharks did let me down, and that was bad. So, a bad call on my part, guys. I could not get everything to work. I got some things to work yesterday, but not everything, and the Sharks went down. Bad call. Just really quickly looking at the basketball, the Brooklyn Nets did get a win last night over New York Knicks, 121 to like 111 or 110, and they are playing the Boston Celtics, hosting the Celtics tonight. Isaiah Thomas, Al Horford, and Bunch, and the Celtics have been absolutely phenomenal in the second half of the season. You might want to look there as far as Celtics getting a win. It's -8. Celtics have recently started covering spreads, but at home, not necessarily on the road. So you might want to put this with something and get rid of the 8.5 points, even though I think the Celtics are well capable of covering the 8 against the booty Brooklyn Nets.
Booty Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, I hear you. On that one. Oh, man. You know what, Dream? I'm having a hard time with being in the NBA tonight, to be honest.
I don't blame you. I don't think you should go there, but I just want to mention that. That's the only game that stands out to me as far as the NBA is concerned. On the hockey side of things, let's get a quick look. We only got 4 games going on in the hockey. I do like the Rangers. I do like the Pittsburgh Penguins. Rangers, Penguins, and I like the Flames too, but I would leave the Flames out of it, but I do like the Rangers and Penguins. So guys, you could parlay the Rangers and Penguins. The Sharks, their goalie Dell, I don't know. I don't know about the goalie play this season. Last season it was absolutely stellar. This season, I don't know what's going on with the goalie play in the second half of their season. But too many because they scored more than the Sharks did, so it is too many. But just not able to make enough saves last night. Just didn't play well. Didn't have a good game as far as the stats are concerned. I didn't see the game. I started off watching it. I had to go to bed at 2-1. I figured they'd get it done overnight, and they just didn't. Got it. Okay. All right, man. So that's going to do it for us. Guys, we're not on much. We haven't really made up our minds yet. The one thing that's looking stellar as far as Hat's concerned, Hat pulled out an over. Yeah, the over in the Baylor and New Mexico State game. I'm going to take that. I'm going to jump on that as well. I didn't see a lot of spots that I like today. Even mixing them up with the tees. I do like Oregon to roll as far as that's concerned, but you got to do something about the 15 points. Don't get played with the points today, even though I think you're going to have a different point situation today than you had yesterday. Guys, the law of averages. You flip a coin 100 times, it's going to be heads 100 times, it's going to be tails 100 times. Same thing with covering the spread. Sure. Right on, Dre. It probably is going to be favorites time today, so it can all turn its head. But that's just my call. I don't love the matchups. I'm waiting for the matchups when I see a really solid, better team play against a team that I don't think is as good, and our numbers are kind of favoring us. So today is not that day. Nothing really stands out to me. I am going to take a small shot with the over with you. And maybe put something else together a little bit later. Okay. If I do, I'll let you guys know. If not, hey, best of luck to you. All right, I want to thank everybody out there who's retweeted the program. We got Joseph Rosario in the house. Robert McFalls is out there. Jordy Best, Terrence Mack. Good to see you, Terrence Mack. Your North Carolina faithful are going today. JDH24 is in the house. KMVU is out there. Fast 8072. Shane White. Ted is out there. Benjamin Rowe. Jeff Ryan. Catch Action Best. Good to see you out there, brother. Deeks Picks. Good to see you as well. Jay Snyder. Vegas Girl 92661. Always great to see you. Beat USA Sport 24. JC. My boy Slick Rick Lopez, who never sleeps. Angelo Nunez. Super Mario to the bank. Out there getting that plumbing thing happening. Bang the book, and Derry Richard, just to name a few. Gang, all right. I'm the Dream. Always remember who you with. Take the most each and every day, as you cannot get this time back. Pat, you know what? The one straight spot I might give a shot, though, might be SMU. Yeah. As far as a straight play, might be SMU, yes.
Okay. All right, well, I wish you the best of luck with that one.
Okay.
Having a hard time with it.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time because I just don't know, where USC's heads are at. I saw an emotional win one year with the UConn Huskies. I remember their first game, they went into overtime, should have lost the game, and then they won the national title after that. So, anything could happen here. I'm very interested to see the defense of SMU versus this prolific offense of USC. Guys, good luck out there. It's the second day of the tournament. You got round 2 starting tomorrow, so be careful. You don't need to push all in on these games. Pick your spots and make intelligent decisions and do the best you can here. But whatever it is you do whatever it is you got to do whatever it is you want to do in life and get that money. Let's go.